We're good.
We ready to go?
Yep.
Yes, we are.
All right. I'd like to call to order Planning Commission meeting for June 24th, 2020. Roll.
Mr. Clausen? Mr. Clausen, are you present? Mr. Titus? Mr. Fisher?
Present.
Mr. Wishak?
Present.
And Mayor Puckett?
Here. I think Dave's having some technical difficulties.
He's not muted. Dave, can you hear us?
You know, even if he has technical difficulties, there's a way he can type in the chat and we can communicate what he's typing.
There he is. Hello, Mr. Clausen.
He just muted himself.
Can you unmute yourself, Dave?
There we go.
There we go.
He must have his audio. He doesn't have his audio on or something. Dave, can you hear us? Thumbs up. All right.
Okay.
All right, we good to go?
Yeah, if he wants to vote with thumbs up, he could just.
Okay. Okay, please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
But hold on before you do that. Dave, check your audio on your computer. My guess is your audio is turned down, but go ahead. Sorry, Mayor.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic
For which is
And
one nation,
God,
God.
indivisible, liberty, justice.
We have approval of minutes from March 5th, 2020.
Move to approve is mailed.
Move to approve these as mailed by Councilman Fisher. Do I have a second?
I second.
Seconded by Mr. Wishak. Roll.
Mr. Fisher?
Aye.
Mr. Wishak?
Aye.
Mr. Clausen? Mayor Puckett?
Aye. Moving on to approval of the agenda
Move to adopt as is.
by Councilman Fisher to approve as is. Do I have a second?
I second.
Second by Mr. Wishak. Discussion? Roll.
Mr. Fisher?
Aye.
Mr. Wishak?
Aye.
Mr. Clausen? And Mayor Puckett?
Aye. I don't believe we have any correspondence received. No comments from persons or groups present. Reports to the commission. Today I have no report. And moving on to our building and zoning inspector, Mr. Panko wasn't able to attend today, but I do have his report. There were no permits issued in February. For the month of March, there were 2 issued, total amount of $1,280 with fees of $95. For the month of April, we had 5 permits issued totaling $18,636 with fees of $105. For the month of May, we had 14 permits issued totaling $64,505 with fees of $290. And that's all the board and or the building and zoning inspector had for tonight. Moving on to the solicitor, Mr. Ross.
I just want to say it's good to see everybody, but beyond that, no report. Thanks.
Yeah. Moving on to our Board of Zoning Appeals member. I believe that is Mr. Clausen. We can't hear him. So we'll get back to him.
Mayor,
Yeah.
this means no report.
Okay. Moving on to our council member, Mr. Fisher.
Yes, thank you, Mayor. There are a lot of small record-keeping issues that I'm not going to discuss. People can look back in the minutes of the meetings. But just kind of the highlights since we've met last. Council did vote to place a 1.5 mil renewal levy on the November ballot. We all hope that everybody supports that, especially in the down economic trends that we're having right now and with the COVID affecting the way our revenue is going to come in. We're definitely going to need that money. If the people can see it in their hearts to renew that, that would be fantastic. We enacted measures to use members of the fire department as drivers for the EMS squads on the off chance that we have had a lot of spike in cases of ambulance runs due to COVID-19. And we did enact legislation for a salary ordinance so that we could pay them for doing that. We have received some reports from various agencies, including RETA, that has talked about the revenue loss that we may face this year that we won't really see in our pocketbook until next year. But they're saying the numbers could be upwards of 30%. So we're going to be looking at some serious cuts as we look forward to next year and then into 2022 probably. Hopefully after a couple of months, the economy will get straightened around again and we'll get back to normal, but we'll see this in our budget for a couple of years. It doesn't look promising. Also with that, the state of Ohio did inform us that the next roadway resurfacing project that we did have planned, we are no longer going to receive the grant money that was coming with that. So we have put that project on hold. That will not be completed this year as we had planned. And I know everybody keeps asking, we are working to try to open up the parks for this year. The mayor could probably give you a more accurate announcement as to when that may happen. I know that according to the guidelines from the Trumbull County Board of Health, it is making it very difficult. You basically have to have people standing around wiping everything off as people use it. So as we move forward, I'm sure the mayor will keep everybody updated. That's all I had. If anybody has any questions, I'd be more than happy to entertain them.
Thank you. Seeing no proposals or requests today. Seeing no old business. Moving on to new business. As you know, today we have to elect a temporary chairman. So do we have any volunteers?
That has to be one of the 3 citizen members.
Correct.
I nominate Mr. Clausen.
Move by Councilman Fisher to nominate Mr. Clausen as our temporary chairman. Do I have a second?
Now second.
Second by Mr. Wishak. Roll.
Mr. Fisher?
Aye.
Mr. Wishak?
Aye.
Mr. Clausen? And Mayor Puckett.
Aye. Congratulations, Mr. Clausen. Moving on to B, rezoning the corner property of 5th and Pennsylvania Avenue. I believe that's 452 Pennsylvania. It was a property the village had purchased quite a while ago. now the house is removed, and eventually the village would like to move forward in making that possibly a parking area. So it's right now residential, and we would like to rezone that commercial so we could put a parking lot there. So, do you have anything to add, Mr.?
Thank you. No, we have been doing work as budget allows over there, and as Mr. Fisher had said, we may not be doing a roadway resurfacing project, but we do have money allocated in our budget to move forward with capital project. We may need to reallocate some of that money in that area if we choose the parking lot this year. But again, things are a little bit tight, so we're going to move forward cautiously. But this move to start the rezoning will enable us to put the parking lot in when we can. So I appreciate everybody's getting together tonight so that we can talk about it and set it up to better the parking for this village and the residents that come to it.
I know we've been looking at this, what we were gonna do with that property ever since we decided to demolish the house. This was the intent from day one. Obviously, there are steps we have to go through in order to make it happen. That's why it's on the agenda to rezone it. So at this time, I move to take action to rezone parcel 26-115-300, otherwise known as the property at 452 Pennsylvania Avenue, from residential A to commercial A.
Moved by Councilman Fisher to rezone the property at 452 Pennsylvania Avenue from RA to CA. Do I have a second?
I second.
Seconded by Mr. Wishak. Discussion. Roll.
Mr. Fisher,
Aye.
Mr. Wishak,
Aye.
Mr. Clausen, and Mayor Puckett.
Aye.
And since now we've taken care of that, to move into commercial A, I would move to schedule a public hearing in accordance with the zoning change within the dates of the requirements.
Moved by Councilman Fisher to schedule a public hearing on that property within the requirements. Do I have a second?
I second.
Seconded by Mr. Wishak. Discussion. Roll.
Mr. Fisher,
Aye.
Mr. Wishak,
Aye.
Mr. Clausen, Mr. Clausen,
He's connecting to the audio.
I see that. Mr. Clausen,
The answer to the affirmative.
yes, okay. And Mayor Puckett.
Aye. Thank you, everybody. Seeing no new business, no more new business. Do we have any comments from the board members? Seeing none, do we have a motion to adjourn?
Move to adjourn.
Moved by Councilman Fisher to adjourn. Do I have a second?
Second.
Seconded by Mr. Wishak. Roll.
Mr. Fisher,
Aye.
Mr. Wishak,
Aye.
Mr. Clausen, and Mayor Puckett.
Aye.
All right, good night, everybody.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.